Hey folks, this is Rhykker, and lately I've been seeing a lot of controversy and talk between new players and veterans about seasonal resets in Diablo 4. Players new to the genre are saying, man, I don't want to have to grind everything all over again at the start of a season. Veterans are saying, nah, this is the way it's been, this is good. And then all that's getting conflated with the argument against having to grind renown again. So in this video, I just want to talk about seasonal resets. I want to talk about why some people are opposed to them. I want to share my story about how I used to be opposed to them and what made me change my mind, and why seasonal resets are a good thing, and why the renown grind might not be so bad, or at least how the devs can make it better. So first off, just to clarify, seasonal resets. What are we talking about? aRPGs in general now. Modern aRPGs have seasons. Call them seasons, call them ladders, call them leagues. There's some term where every few months there's a new patch that comes out with new content, and with that comes a reset, where if you want to participate in this new content, you gotta make a fresh character. Everyone starts from scratch like it's a new game, a new account. Some small things might carry over to some degree, but the spirit of this is that we all start anew. You leave your old character behind. And so for a lot of people unfamiliar with this type of game, the thought is, well, wait a minute, I just spent like 50 hours on this character. You're telling me I can't carry that progress over into the new season? I gotta choose between experiencing new content or not losing out on all my time and effort? I mean, what's the point in even investing into a character if I'm gonna abandon it in 3 months because I gotta make a new one, right? And these are all very valid concerns and very valid points. Some people play hardcore, where if your character dies, you gotta start over. So they have that mentality of, well, I know I can lose all my progress and have to start over. But people who choose not to opt into hardcore, who are going for that softcore experience, that's presumably, partially at least, because they want to retain their progress. They don't want to feel like their hours were wasted because their character is effectively gone. It can take 80 to 200 hours to grind to level 100 in Diablo 4, depending on how fast or slow you might be and what techniques you're using. It can take months to get a super rare item to drop. So what's the point if you can't keep that progress? Now, when season started in Diablo 3, that's exactly how I felt. I've invested so much time, so many months into building up my characters. Why would I just let that go? When the first season rolled out for Diablo 3, there wasn't even really new content back then. That's something that developed more over time and mostly from other games, where new seasons became an opportunity to add new content into the game beyond just new unique items and new sets. Other games now have introduced the ability to have new game mechanics, new quests, more exciting new and fresh content. But back then, we didn't even have any of that. It was just, okay, there's a couple new items you can find, but there's also a cosmetic reward. So I said, all right, well, I'm just gonna play the new season just to get that cosmetic reward, and then I'm going right back to non-season. I'm gonna keep playing my characters that I've invested all this time into. So I played my first season, and I literally never went back to playing non-season. I kept playing Diablo 3 for years without any significant break. And I would play at the start of every new season, and I would only ever play season from there on out. And it's something that, just against all logic and reason, just experiencing it is what's gonna make you a believer. It was just so fun to play a new season. And let's hit up on some points as to why that is. First off, it's just a fresh new experience. It's almost like playing the game again for the first time. That new game experience, that new game smell, isn't that always the most fun you have in a game? You can hardly ever recapture the magic of your first couple days, maybe even weeks with a new game. And seasons, a fresh start, somewhat are able to give us some Xerox of that experience. Sorry for the Zoomers, some artifact JPEG of that experience. And this is even more true now that in Diablo 4, every season will bring in appreciable new content to experience. So playing in a new season will not feel exactly the same as when you first played Diablo 4, because things will be different in the game. New character builds might be possible now. New strategies for leveling up your characters might be possible now. And these are things that, if you just take your existing level 90 character and respec, you don't get to experience it or appreciate it in the same way. Diablo's a game about the journey, not the destination. It doesn't start at level 100, and that journey is going to be changed by the new season. Another good reason for a fresh season is just fair competition. how could new players ever jump into the game and be on par with the veterans if the veterans keep their characters that they've had for years and years? It's just impossible to catch up. A fresh season, everyone zeroes out, fair competition. If you started playing the game 3 months after your friends, how could you ever catch up to them? At least, bam, you zero out every 3 months, you're all on an equal footing. It's not even about competition, it's about having fun with each other. You don't want to feel like the little brother being handheld through a dungeon. Now you all get to start fresh, and if you are competitive, well, now this is your time to prove yourself. All of a sudden, the competition isn't who's been playing the longest, who's had more time in rank, it's who has the best strategy, the best techniques, the best builds. And if you're not competitive with other people, like I'm not competitive with other people, but I'm competitive with myself, every season I just want to do better than I did last time. I want to level more efficiently. I want to push further. I want to make a better build. I want to remember the mistakes that I made in the past and I don't want to repeat them. But probably the most significant factor of why we need these resets is the game just gets stale. Action RPGs just aren't designed for you to stay at level 100 for eternity and just keep farming the same items. Getting that reset every few months helps keep things fresh. And I know some people are arguing, well, the ARPGs should evolve. They shouldn't continue to be made that way. People point to the MMO model, where you keep your high-level character, new content comes out, you experience it, but an ARPG is not an MMO. That's why I like ARPGs and I don't like MMOs, because it's much more about the journey. It's about the leveling up, it's about the finding gear, and you can't really keep adding on to that with expansions or with seasons every 3 months without literally raising the level cap every 3 months. And then something that's become a very important part of the seasonal reset is the community aspect of it. Every 3 months, we have this big, exciting event that we all jump online and slam the servers for. An ARPG's life cycle goes through these spikes. The start of every season, everyone is eager to hop on. Maybe midway through a season, a lot of people have dropped off. They got their fix, they got their fill, and they don't hate the game, but they're just ready to jump in again in the new season. Now again, you can argue, well, you can have that just with a new expansion or a new content drop that doesn't force you to reset. But because of all the things that I've outlined previously, it doesn't hit as hard if it doesn't come with that reset. Now, specifically on the topic of the Renown grind, which a lot of people blasted through. They just sat down, did Renown for, however many hours it takes in one shot, and they hated themselves after, and they never want to grind Renown again. And if we literally have to do that exactly the same way as we previously did, I can understand why people don't want to do that. Devs are already starting to change what we are able to retain from the Renown grind that we've already done into the new season. And one thing that, we'll see when Season 1 is revealed, when the Battle Pass is revealed as well, the free Battle Pass is something to consider as well that we'll discuss right now. We need to see what the devs actually have planned. Hopefully they do have something planned in this regard, but if they don't, then there's an opportunity here to have every season somehow alter the Renown grind if the Renown grind will remain a part of the game. Maybe the Battle Pass offers alternative ways to get Renown that doesn't have us do exactly the same stuff we've always done. Maybe every season they can shake up different sources of Renown. Maybe sellers can grant Renown in some other season. And about that Battle Pass, remember the Battle Pass as well has that, again, the free Battle Pass has that XP boost that you can get once you progress far enough along on the track, which will help with the regrinding of the seasonal characters. Because again, that was some complaints that it takes so long to level up. Again, the new season stuff is going to help with all that and keeping it fresh, making you faster, giving you alternative ways to do this content that you feel you don't want to do again. A lot of people just seem to have this mentality of, oh, Season 1 is going to be exactly what we've already experienced. We're probably a week or two away from the devs revealing, or maybe 2 to 3 weeks away from the devs revealing what Season 1 will be about, and then we'll have a better idea and be able to start theory crafting, oh, how can our push to level 100 or level 50 or whatever be different this time around. So overall, I just encourage everyone to keep an open mind about seasons, about the season reset. No one's taking away your characters. Your character will always be there. You can always go back to that character you worked so hard on. It's not going to get deleted, but try out the fresh start. See if you get that same feeling of excitement that I got, that made me never look back. Diablo is fundamentally a game about the journey, and a new season allows us to experience that journey again and in a fresh way. We all get to jump in it together with that new game experience, and worst case scenario, you go back to playing your non-season character and keep grinding for that Shaco. So that's all I wanted to say about seasons. I encourage you folks to sound off with your thoughts. Are you for or against season resets? And what are your thoughts on how the renowned grind plays into all this? Do sound off in the comments. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube supporters for making these videos possible. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. Check out these other videos and subscribe to join Rhykker's Raiders for more Diablo content.